morning, inmates, comrades and survivors. Now, today is the start of the series of the Barbering Biker, and I'm heading to Paterson, which is up in the Hunter region again, not far from Morpeth, where I did the first Barbering Biker with spoons. So, but this time I'm doing it all on my own. I don't have I don't have Ross with me filming and the sound guy. I'm going to say today is sponsored by Indian Motorcycles, simply because they do look after me and Calamity Jane really well. So I'm going to dedicate today to the Indian Motorcycle Company, of course. So let's go, shall we? We are on the cusp of winter here in Australia, and we've had the coldest mornings since, I don't know, the last 55 years lately. But today's going to be quite nice. I know I've got nothing to complain about. For my European and North American and Canadian friends, I do know what cold is. I have lived in those countries, so I'm not complaining. Our winters in Australia are pretty damn mild in comparison. Today's adventure before dementia brings me to a terrific little town called Paterson. Now, Paterson is a small township in the lower Hunter regions of New South Wales, situated, of course, on the Paterson River, and is smack bang in the middle of what was, and is to a lesser degree today, still dairy, timber and citrus country. The town was named after explorer Colonel William Paterson in 1801. But before him, there is a part of Aussie history we must remember, and I would like to acknowledge the Aboriginal people whose land we visit today. The Paterson Valley was home to, they say, 3 tribes: the Wirimi, saltwater people; the Wonnarua, freshwater people; and the Gringai, people who were more in the upper part of the valley and the Dungog region. I hope I've pronounced those right. So who is famous in Paterson? Well, no one, but during the early 1800s, Australia's very own Calamity Jane was tried at Paterson Courthouse, a horse-riding, gun-toting, sharpshooting rebel called Mary Ann Bugg, one of only 2 Australian female bushrangers. She was married to the infamous Captain Thunderbolt. You should Google her, she's very interesting. And I'm feeling quite the connection with this place. So why Paterson? Well, we are heading to the Paterson Tavern to meet recently single and ready to mingle local lad Pete O'Neill, who the town has dobbed in for a bit of styling and some loving, of course, from me, the Barbering Biker. We are going to make a local legend legendary. So let's go, shall we? Barbering Biker. So here is Paterson Courthouse, where Mary Ann Bugg was tried. And looks like someone, apparently at 3 in the morning, ran off the road. We have Australia's very first Presbyterian church. And on this particular gravesite, Anne Margaret was 2 years old, John Stewart was 4 years old, Janet was only 10 months old, and Alice was 1 year and 8 months old. So all their children have been buried here. It was such tough times, the early settlement times of Australia. So, God, that's sad. So with me I've got Nicole and Wally.
Howdy doody.
Now, Nicole, you're the licensee for the pub.
Yes,
you look after the Paterson Tavern. Nicole was the one responsible for finding today's subject matter.
That's right.
And I can't wait to meet Pete O'Neill.
He's a wonderful bloke.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I believe he's just ready. He's just getting back on the dating scene. After
Yes,
this.
yes.
Well, I'm going to make him look like the man about town, so he's going to have
That's right.
all the Sheilas will be just clamouring to get their hands on Pete O'Neill.
They will.
What's Paterson's claim to fame? Is it that Captain Thunderbolt hid out next door?
Yeah, probably.
Do you reckon that's the claim to fame?
Yeah.
Well, he was probably here to bloody rescue Mary. Yeah.
There's a headless corpse in the local...
Oh my God, this is what I want to hear about. There's a
headless corpse in the cemetery behind the local church here.
Who the headless corpse is, Wally?
No, I don't know.
I'm going to find out. So the beautiful Paterson Tavern is... Oi! I'm looking for O'Neill. O'Neill?
What?
It's your lucky day.
Hey, why, what have I done?
I understand you're recently single, is that right? You're more than ready to mingle, is that right? You're going to give it a go? So part of the reason, that I'm going to zhuzh you up, so you might be able to get out on the dating scene again.
Do property maintenance, look after people's properties.
Property maintenance,
Make
right?
it look pretty.
Oh, okay.
Like you're going to do to me today.
That's right. I'm going to make you look a bloody good sort. Also, Pete, have you got any little stories about what goes on at the properties that you maintain?
No.
Are you like the pool boy for some people?
What happens at the pool stays at the pool.
Okay, Pete, get over here, mate. Let's get started. Are we ready?
No, let's go anyway.
Come on. Now, Pete, just before I get cracking, I was talking to you earlier, and I know you're a bit of a single guy now.
Well and truly,
but I find out also that you've been married 3 times, but you've been really married 4 because you're in a long-term relationship. The relationship where you weren't married lasted longer.
Yeah.
So you'd never get married again because that's a crock. No. But you're open to, maybe someone else coming into your life.
Never know like in a big city.
Yeah. We're going to zhuzh Pete up now. Back out there on the dating scene. Come on, let's do it! Yay! So we might, I know you've got a great mullet here. The time in life, Pete, where mullets need to maybe be calmed down a bit. We're getting cracking.
Here we go.
So Pete, tell me about your mum. She passed away when you were young?
She was only 9, your mum.
Oh, 9. Did it all. And were you the youngest at that point?
Yeah, well, he stopped when he got it perfect.
Did he remarry, and was there another? You never remarried, so you never had another like a stepmom come into your life?
No, we've never.
No, you've done very well for a man that hasn't had a mother figure in your life. You're quite good with the ladies. After today you might get the 5th, number 5.
No.
We want number 5 wife. We're just about done. We did determine that Pete's single, so I'm not in any trouble. Hold on there, boy. I got my bloody spurs on now. There you go. I'm not. Well, you're local, I know, but you work in Texas, but your dad hand makes them. I'm going to be wearing those, so thank you so much. Look at those. Let's get them on. How do I get them on? I've got to cock my leg up. Look at that. Deirdre, you're the champion. Watch out, boys. My job is done here. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you your legendary local legend, Pete O'Neill, or as you know him as O'Neill. Hey, what do you reckon, huh?
Looks all right, eh?
He looks a bit of a good sort. Another 12. Hey, and what do the ladies reckon?
Unbelievable.
He's a good looking rooster.
Absolutely. Who'd have thought hidden under that was that?
Looks good.
Looks great.
It's a beautiful Deirdre and her posse of beautiful women. Not too far from the very good looking rooster, Pete O'Neill.
Now, cock in the corner.
Hey, what's this burger called?
That's called the parrot.
The King Parrot Burger. Get a go at that. Nicole, it's the end of the day. We've done the makeover. Thanks for finding me Pete O'Neill.
You're welcome.
All right.
He did. He looks amazing.
He does look good. How's the day been for you?
The day has been great. I mean, as you can see, there's people sitting here everywhere. It's a great day. Lots of locals, lots of non-locals that are always welcome.
Yep.
It's been wonderful.
There's never been anyone like her. Carter the Barbering Biker.
Well, that's the end of a fabulous day, and from the Barbering Biker, I'd like to thank the town of Paterson, particularly the Paterson Tavern and Nicole and her dad Wally for accommodating the Barbering Biker, and of course Pete O'Neill for being such a good sport, and all the locals and all my mates who came out to support the concept. I hope you had a great day as I did, and until then, Be brave, be crazy, and take care because it's a fucking jungle out there. Well, thanks for watching all the way to the end. So just a quick word. Firstly, the pilot pitch idea for the Barbering Biker, if you haven't seen that 1-minute trailer, I'll put a link in the description. If you have, you may have noticed that the production for that was much more polished than today's. But I had the wonderful Ross Wood filming and editing that, obviously to pitch out. So I'm not waiting around for someone to think that this would make a good TV series. I'm just now getting out there to do it myself. So this is where I'm just doing a shout out. If you would like to support me with a tip of some kind, $1, $2 would be awesome. I need a new computer, as that 10 minutes you just watched took me all day because my current little computer does not cope. It's constantly crashing and it's very frustrating. So I need a new computer. I need other things like probably a better camera, some microphones, and of course we all know how high maintenance Calamity Jane is. Thanks in advance. If you flick me a small tip, the link will be in the description and also on the website. It's safe and secure, and if you are a business and you would like to sponsor a series of the Barbering Biker, get in touch. And just a reminder, I don't monetize my YouTube channel. I detest watching videos with those annoying ads that pop up, so I don't make any money from YouTube. And while I've thought about Patreon and crowdfunding, I just can't bring myself to ask for weekly or monthly commitments. I'd rather you tip me when I've delivered something, which can be fairly random with me, sometimes weekly, sometimes a couple of times a month. So thanks, and I'm also hopeless at all that YouTube rules, like saying please subscribe, follow, etc. So just please subscribe. And a big thanks to, of course, to Indian Motorcycles for their constant support with me and Calamity Jane. The next 2 weeks, I have some more pubs coming up at Burrawa and Cowra, so please join me and subscribe for those. Don't miss out, and thank you once again for your support.